everyone, and welcome to our Thursday Meanwhile Tech Spark. My name is Thao. I'm an account manager at Meanwhile. This is my first time hosting the Tech Spark, so I hope you guys all enjoy. And today we're joined here again with our expert, field applications engineer, Harland.
Hi, everyone.
And today's topic of discussion will be the functionality of DIN rails within the industrial and security applications. And before we get started, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat. So let's go ahead and get started. Harland, could you kind of give us a quick intro about DIN rails?
Yeah, sure. The DIN rail is a mounting rail made of metal with fixed standard dimensions. This type of mounting has been established worldwide and adapted into European and international standard. The term top head rail comes from its U-shaped profile, as you can see in the right figures. So the cross section is either 15 or 7.5 millimeter, and so we call it TS3515 or TS35 7.5. Then the DIN rail is found in the most industrial applications around the world. So it becomes it has become a fixed components of cabinets, distribution boxes, and machines. So the selection of available electrical components such as power supplies, circuit breaker, relay, industrial PCs for this type of mounting is almost unlimited.
Nice, so pretty straightforward. As Harland mentioned, DIN rails have a fixed standard dimensions, unlike other power supplies like enclosed type, which means it could be more easily installed and integrated into systems, making it a very popular choice for a lot of applications. Some typical applications that we see are distribution automations, building automations, IT, and industrial control, which we'll kind of cover more later on. So Harland, could you also share with us some of the advantages of the DIN rail?
Yeah. So the first of all, it provides easy operations for the users. So installing the DIN rail power supplies is easy and can be carried out quickly. The device is simply attached to the DIN rail and is then wired to the AC main and the load. So the connection options such as the push-in terminals allows the power supply to be installed easily. And the DIN rail power supply is then immediately ready for operation. So then second is lower operating costs as many customers concerns. So meanwhile achieve efficiency value with its DIN rail power supplies thanks to an innovative designs and high quality components. Then the high efficiency also in standby mode and the partial low range with which leads to lower load loss and then less heat generations in the entire system. Then so as many power supply also be developing of the features. So we also talk about reliability. So the DIN rail power supplies are conversion cooling. And then, so this means that the electronics are cooled by only a natural airflow, which has a positive effect on the reliability of the power supply. So then the components that determine the lifetime, such as the electrolyte capacitors, are positioned at the coolest point in the unit. So then, as we mentioned, the DIN rails provide small form factors, and then so given this, then the DIN rail power supply and the device, the cabinet that contains these components can save more space and allow more device to be installed into the applications of the enclosure. So if the customers has the dimensional concerns, the DIN rail is definitely a good option.
Oh, sounds good. Great. Thanks for going over the advantages, Harland. Let's go ahead and cover the extensive products that Meanwhile has to offer. As you can see in this diagram, Meanwhile has a pretty extensive and complete portfolio of the DIN rail power supply, including AC to DC, metal and plastic case design, DC to DC, and peripheral modules. It covers the 10 to 960 watts and nearly over 200 models. So Harlan, could you kind of explain to us what makes each series so special?
Yeah, so Mingwell provides a lot of features, different features at different dimwell power supply series. So if the customer looking for ultra wide input range, so Mingwell offers so 180 to 550 VAC for with the one phase and two phase input, and then so the WDI is a very good options for that. Then so if the customer's application needs a three-phase input, then so we have a TDR to power those applications. And then some applications such as models, pumps that requires peak load capability. Then also SDR, which provides 130 to 150 peak loads features of ability. Then very suitable for those applications. Then so the HDR in another case has a very small form factor ranging from the 1U to 6U width, and it also passes the limited power source, and then so very suitable for those applications that has a limited spacing. And of course when the customer is looking for lower no load power consumption, then the MDR and the HDR are very suitable for that. And then so Mingwell also provides EDR, and then so ADR for the metal case and economical grade dimwell power supply. So so if the customer will need a much higher power, then so Mingwell also provides the parallel function at some certain dimwell power supply series to connect multiple units in parallel to output higher power. Then so the one interesting features is the current programmable. So the DRA and the DRC so on the other hand can be its output current can be adjustable with 1 to 10 voltage and the 10 voltage PWM signal and the 10K to 100K resistance. For example, just like a 3-in-1 dimming LED driver features. So as we cover all these features, they basically in the AC to DC dimwell power supply. Then Mingwell also provides the DC to DC converter dimwell. Then so DDRH features a 6-to-1 input ultra wide range input. So it's very suitable for the customer application that needs a DC to DC converters in the dimwell's application. Then in one word, so all this power supply can be mounted on the dimwell TS35 15 and the TS35 7.5.
And next up, we have an example application for an factory automation using the SDR 4824 volts with the current sharing and then the peak load capability that you mentioned. So I'm curious, Harlan, why is it so important specifically in this application?
So yeah, in the applications such as the industrial automation, and then where for example, the robot arms in the production line, the motor usually are integrated into the robot arm, and then so servos is needed to communicate with those motors and sending the command to provide the appropriate operation. Then SDR is very suitable to power the servos and then the motors, because when the motor is cold start and then so it draw a higher current than the rated current, then so the power supply with the low compatibility can supply a higher output in a short period. And then on the other hand, so the SDR 480p and the SDR 960 has the parallel function and is good to power other equipment or device integrated in the application, then the customer don't need to source another power supply that to power the other device. And I do have another application example for you guys. So for industrial control system, which is a collection of electrical components that monitor and control industrial machinery and equipment. So the WDR is suitable for this industrial control system because it is UL 508 approved.
So I'm curious, what if customers need something with higher power requirement or something 3-phase and higher power? What would you recommend?
That's a great question, Thao. So the industrial control panels that manage high powers machinery such as motors, pumps, compressor, and a large converter system typically requires significant power. So the SDR 960 for single phase and TDR 960 for 3-phase are suitable to install to power those applications. And then so of course the TDR and the SDR also UL 508 approved, and then so typically they are good for the industrial control equipment.
Right, and to add on top of that, the industrial control system is actually one of the most important part for a business. It helps kind of automate tasks, improve performance, and ensure safety. But actually, one of the concerns that I believe most customers have is the operational safety due to possible failure of the power supply. Do we have a solution for this?
Yeah, so as a customer may have concerns of the power outage, and then so we have a redundancy backup solution, and then so multiple power supply can be assembled onto the RDN to power the application. So once one unit or the multiple of few power supply units fails, and then so the RDN is able to provide a hospitable change to the power supply unit. So the customer doesn't need to shut down the whole system to replace the power supply. Then so they can just simply take out the defective power supply and install the new one. And as besides the redundancies, then we also have another solution, the buffer module. So the DBUF series utilize the maintenance-free electrolyte capacitor to store the energy, then to eliminate the need of the period replacement as compared to the costlier battery, which also have a shorter functional lifespan. And then so typical application example of this would be a CNC machine.
Yeah, and so the CNC machine stands for computer numerical control. So CNC machines are typically used across a broad spectrum of industries where precision making and automations are quite crucial. But typically could you give us a better explanation of why the buffer module is crucial in a CNC machine?
Sure. So any interruption or inconsistence in the power can lead to errors in the machining, resulting in defective products. So buffer modules ensure the machines operates smoothly without interruptions, maintaining the quality of the workpiece. Then on the other hand, the CNC machine contains sensitive electronics components that can be damaged by the voltage spike and the surge and the voltage drop. So the buffer modules helps to regulate and smooth out these fluctuations and protecting the machine's electronics and prolonging its lifespan.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. Thanks for sharing, Harlan. Let's move on to our last power backup solution.
And then as for the last one, and so which get the battery molded, so the DUPS 20 and 40, which stands for the uninterruptible DC UPS controller. So when the AC main fails or is interrupted, the load will be immediately connected to the battery pack to avoid interruption and to ensure the continuous operations of the entire system. So then the DUPS series features a 2 amps charging current and suitable for the lead acid battery and for the 24 volts systems. And then so it outputs up to 40 amps to the application. Then let me show you guys an example of the application. So for this security system, and then the users usually don't want to lose their eyes and at the industrial field, and then so the backup energy is required when the AC fails. So then the combinations of the DUPS and the dimmable power supplies is very suitable for these applications. So when the AC fails, the battery will automatically immediately take over the power to supply to this type of application, and then to avoid the operations in any scenarios.
And then I want to introduce guys to our newest DINRAL series, which is the DRS 24048. So we will actually announce this DINRAL type with the all-in-one intelligent security power supply in response to the rapid development of complex building architectures. So actually the governments in Europe, USA, and China announced safety regulations for security and fire systems, which are the EN 54-4, UL 2524, and the GB 17945. So the DRS 24048 actually provides the best solution for the fire safety systems, such as emergency communication equipment, fire emergency lighting, access control systems, and central monitoring.
Yeah. Let me provide you guys more detail about the features. And so besides the universal input voltage and all kinds of protection, so the DRS features the built-in Modbus and CAN bus, allowing the customer to communicate easily with this series. Then it also provides 20 to 100% charging currents adjustable by the VR, and then so the customer can simply just turn the VR to adjust the charging current. And then so one interesting point is it also provides different status monitoring, so such as the DC OK, AC fails, and then so the charging the battery and discharging the battery. So then so customer can visualize the status of the operations of this DRS series. And then so the DRS can becomes a battery charger when the ACs recover after it fails. So then it as it provides the UPS functions, then so it can the battery will supply the power to the application automatically, and then so there's no any manual operations needed. So and then as it is new designs on new generation dimmable power supply, so it features a 2 or 3 stage charging curves adjustable. And so for the CAN bus mode, for the CAN bus version, the charging curves can be adjustable with the SBP001, which is a smart programmer, and then so the customer can adjust the current the charging curve on the PC, so which provides a lot of visibility for the user to operate this type of dimmable power supply.
And then this is our last application example, which is an industrial alarm system. So an industrial alarm system is a crucial component of safety and security in manufacturing plants, warehouses, and other industrial settings. These systems are designed to detect various types of emergencies or abnormal conditions and alert personnel so that appropriate actions could be taken swiftly. And it helps ensure safety, minimizes damage, and overall helps in the orderly shutdowns of operations.
Yeah, so as both lithium ion and lead acid battery can be used with the DRX, so it becomes more flexible to assemble the system. Unlike combinations of the DUPX and DMROS power supply, which is good for 24-volt system, and then so the DRX series so adapted 12 volt, 24 volt, and 48-volt batteries. And as it is an intelligent dimmable power supply, so it can auto charge the battery when AC recover, and then so no any manual operations is needed to like a trigger the AC to power this application or the battery to power the application.
And that's all for today's Tech Spark. Thanks everyone for joining. If you guys have any technical questions, please feel free to either email either Brian, Kareem, or Harland. And then also moving forward, I wanted to let you guys know that our Tech Sparks are actually going to be only once a month, so it's going to be every last Thursday. So be sure to mark your calendars for the next one, which is July 25th with David and Kareem, where they'll be kind of diving into the intelligent power supplies to enhance efficiency and performance. Thank you, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Okay, see you guys.